Good morning, all of you. Today we'll go to start the necessity of starter. So, generally, why we need a starter? Initially, we will see starters are used generally to protect DC motors from damage that can be caused by very high current and torque during startup. That is, at the time of starting of the DC motor, we will get very high current and torque. That is the main point. So, in order to protect from those high currents and torque, we need a starter. And they do this by providing some external resistance to the motor. That is how we will provide the protection for the DC motor is by means of starter. What the main motto of the starter is, that is we are providing some external resistance to the motor, which is connected in series to the motor's armature winding, and so that it restricts the current to an acceptable level. That is, it is preventing from high currents. So before going to that, now we will see how these there are we can see there are different types of DC motors, 2-point starter, 3-point starters and 4-point starters. An amount of some excessive current exists between these starters. That is, the three types of starters include a switch, namely faceplate rotor through an associated set of current limiting transistors. The main and common difference between these 3-point starters is no voltage coil. In a 4-point starter, generally we'll see the no load voltage coil is connected directly to the voltage supply. And next one, a starter is not necessary for a 6 volts or 12 volts DC motor, and it can be run directly. And DC motor starter includes external resistance, no volt release coil and overload release coil. So these are all the some parts in the DC motor. So 2-point starter is generally will use for DC series motor. 3-point starter is used for the generally DC shunt motor and compound motors, like that. Okay, so now we will see why it is why we are needing the starter. By means of some expressions, we can observe why we need this starter. That is, all of us know the expression E is equal to VEB plus IARA. Instead of E, we can write V also. V equal to EB plus IARA, where E is the supply voltage, EB is the back EMF, IA is the armature current, RA is the armature resistance. All of us know this expression. Okay, so next one, this back EMF is directly proportional to the motor's speed. So at startup, when motor speed is 0, this back EMF is also 0. That is, the back EMF, it is directly proportional to the motor's speed. So at the time of starting, when the motor speed is 0, this back EMF is also 0. So if we remove the term EB and rearranging the voltage equation, then we get that is, we can see that at startup armature current is, if we write V equal to IARA, if we neglect the term EB, that is at the time of starting, that is speed is 0, so back EMF is also 0, so that the expression becomes E equal to IARA. So that if we write the expression for IA equal to E by RA. So for the that is at the time of starting, the armature current is inversely proportional to the armature resistance. That is, as the current that is, as the resistance decreases, current increases. So for the best motor performance, armature resistance in motor is kept very low. Generally it is less than 1 ohm, so that Now we will see because of this very low that is armature resistance, what happens at the time of starting is significantly this affects the starting current. If we assume that armature resistance is 0.4 ohms, let us take armature resistance is 0.4 ohms and supply voltage is 220 volts. So that that is 220 by 0.4, that is Ia equal to E by Ra. If you write the expression, then E equal to 220 by Ra is 0.4. So 220 by 0.4, nearly we will get 550 amperes. That is at the time of starting. That is which is more than 10 times the rated current, and it is very high enough to damage the internal motor circuit also. So that that is at the time of starting only, that is there is the motor is the speed is 0, so that back EMF is also 0, so that the expression becomes equal to IARA. If we rearrange the expression, so that we will get IA equal to E by Ra, that is the armature current is inversely proportional to the armature resistance. For example, if we take the armature resistance as 0.4 ohms and supply voltage as 220 volts, then we will get the starting current as 550 amperes. That is very high current. That is more than 10 times the rated current. So that it damages the internal motor circuit. This is one of the reasons, the necessity of water, necessity of starter. And next, not only the high starting current, that is the high startup current result in potential motor circuit damage. It can also produce dangerously high torque. That is phi is directly proportional to Ia. That is, this can cause the rotor to literally break apart. So from the torque equation, if we know that the torque equation T equal to Ka phi Ia. That is where T is the torque, Ka is the torque constant, and phi is the motor flux. So we can see that torque is directly proportional to the current here. So that if the current increases by if we take the example as 4.4 ohms and 220 volts, that is 550 amperes. Obviously, the torque is also directly proportional to the armature current, so that the torque also increases enormously, so that the torque as well as the armature current increases. Okay, so to reduce this problem, a motor, if we at the time of starting, that is we are getting very low resistance in the range of below 1 ohm, no? So if we add some external resistance to this armature resistance, so that we can reduce the amount of current, that is only at the time of starting. So a motor starter adds external resistance Rs to the armature winding, which reduces the armature current. So that Ia equal to E by Ra plus Rs. That is, we are adding some external resistance, and this resistance does not need to be present through the motor's full operation speed range. Only at the time of starting, to limit the high amount of current, we need some external resistance only. That is, it does not need for the entire operation of the motor. So as the motor speed increases, so obviously the back EMF increases. That is, it develops the back EMF, which counters the supply voltage and also has the effect of reducing the armature current. Okay, so that because of at the time of starting, that is there is no speed, so that the back EMF induced also becomes 0, that is at the time of starting. If you are able to include some external resistance in the armature circuit, so that the total resistance increases, obviously the amount of starting current increases, and thereby after once the motor speed starts getting increased, so that there exists some back EMF develops, which counters the supply voltage and also reduces the amount of armature current. And next one, as the back EMF reaches its maximum, the starter progressively decreases the external resistance, and it becomes to 0. So that is when this back EMF reaches its maximum, so that the starter progressively decreases the external resistance to 0. So this is the need of starter. Okay, so why we need the starter means in order to limit the high amount of starting current and torque, because the external that is back EMF is proportional to the motor speed. So at the time of starting, that is the motor speed is 0, so back EMF is also 0, so that the armature current is directly proportional to the armature resistance. As we know that the armature resistance is very low, that is below 1 ohm, so that at the time of starting armature current is very high, that is nearly about 10 times the rated current. And we know about the not only the starting current, torque also increases enormously, because torque is directly proportional to Ia, so that in order to reduce the effects of high amount of starting current and torque, if we add some external resistance in the armature circuit, so that the amount of armature current can be reduced. The amount of armature current can be reduced. So and this external resistance, its function, that is it need not be in the motor's full operating speed range. Once it gets, that is as the motor speed increases, the back EMF also increases, so that which counters the supply voltage and also has the effect of reducing the armature current. And as the back EMF reaches its maximum, the starter it progressively decreases the external resistance to 0. So this is the necessity of a starter in DC motors. And shunt wound and compound wound DC motors typically use this 3-point or 4-point starter. Why the name, that is the name comes from the number of terminals that connect to the motor, with the 3-point starters having 3 terminals, that is the armature terminal, which is the armature terminal which is connected to the motor armature winding, the line terminal which is connected to the positive supply pole, and the field terminal which is connected to the field winding. So it is a 3-point starter. It is having 3 terminals. One is the armature terminal, which is connected to the motor armature winding, the line terminal which is connected to the positive supply of pole, and the field terminal which is connected to the field winding. So by the names, by the connections also, we have 3 connections, so that we will get 3-point starters. Okay, now let us move to the 3-point starter. So the main task of the motor starter is to start as well as stop the motor to which it is alloyed. And next, starters are particularly designed electromechanical switches like relays that are used to provide an overload protection for the motor. So the starters also it also protects the motor from overloading. So the starter gives the supply to the motor manually or automatically, as well as protects the motor from the faults or overloads like that. So based on the type of motor, the motor starters are available in different sizes with different ratings in the market. 3-point starter, which is used in generally commercially, we will use in industrial applications. 3-point starter basically these are used for the stopping or starting purpose, and it protects the motor from overloading like that. So this is about 3-point starter. So 3-point starter, if we see in the laboratories like that, we will see this type of diagram here. A 3-point starter, it is an electrical device used for starting as well as maintaining the DC shunt motor speed. The connection of resistance in this circuit is in series with which decreases the initial high current and guards the equipment against any electrical failure. And here the occurrence of back EMF plays an essential role in operating the motor, because the EMF only plays an important role in producing, that is what is the amount of current producing like that. And this EMF extends when the armature of motor starts for rotating in the magnetic field by making the action as well as opposes the voltage supply. Okay, now let us move to the important point is construction of 3-point starter. So the internal diagram of 3-point starter is this. So in this one, mainly we will see outside we can observe 3-point starter mainly includes 3 terminals: line, armature and field. L, A, F. Here line terminal is connected to the positive supply. A terminal, that is armature terminal, is connected to the windings of an armature terminal, and F field terminal is connected to the winding of field terminal. And the construction of 3-point starter includes a resistance R. You can see in the diagram, R for controlling the initial current, and the H handle in the circuit kept in the off condition with a spring S. The handle can be operated manually for motor operation. At the beginning of the motor position, the motor field windings gets the total supply voltage, and the armature current is restricted to the particular secure value by the resistance R. So that is we can see in handle in the circuit kept in the off condition and spring S. The handle can be operated manually, and at the beginning of the motor position, the motor field winding gets the total supply voltage, and the armature current is it is restricted to the particular secure value by this resistance. And the handle of the 3-point starter can be moved from one stud to another stud. So there you can see R1, R2, R3, R4 and R5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see those are called the studs. So the handle of the 3-point starter can be moved from one stud to another stud, and this increases the speed of the motor till gets the run position. Okay, there are 3 main points are considered in this position. That is, the shunt motor gets the full speed, and the voltage supply in the circuit is straight across both the motor's windings, and the resistance is totally cut out. So these are the 3 points considered when it is at position run position. That is, the DC motor gets the full speed. The voltage supply in the circuit is straight across both the motor's windings, and the resistance is totally cut out. And at first, when DC supply is turned on by handle in the off position, then the handle will move clockwise direction to the stud 1, The winding of the shunt field is directly associated across the voltage supply as the that is total resistance in the beginning is included in series with the armature circuit. That is, at the time of starting, that is the supply is turned on, handle is in off position, and slowly the handle will move in the clockwise direction to the stud 1, and the winding of the shunt field is directly that is connected across the voltage supply as the total resistance in the beginning, and it is included in series with the armature circuit. When this handle is held in run condition with an electromagnet strengthened by no volt coil. Here you can observe soft iron piece, and here you can observe no volt coil. So the no volt coil can be coupled in series with the motor field winding. That is in the incident turned off or dropped below a fixed value, then the no volt coil will get energized by the act of spring S spring here. The handle H is released as well as pulled back to the off condition. This is how, that is when the handle in the circuit is held in run condition, that is with an electromagnet strengthened by no volt coil, and this is coupled in series with the motor field winding, and when it is turned off or dropped below a fixed value, then the no volt coil will get energized, and by with the action of spring, the handle H is released as well as it is pulled back to the off condition. So this is about no volt coil. And if the voltage supply is unexpectedly disrupted, then the no volt coil discharges, coil is demagnetized as well as the handle goes back to the off location in the pull of the spring. That is, in case of any disturbance, that is in the case of power off, also the handle gets back to off condition, that is the motor will get into off condition. If no volt coil were not utilized, then there will be a supply failure. The handle would stay on the last stud only, and if the voltage supply is returned, then the DC motor will be openly laid across the supply, resulting in an extreme armature current. That is, in case of any power failure comes and it is the spring is not no volt coil is not disturbed, then automatically it will be in the run position only, so that when the voltage again that is if the voltage supply is returned, then it is already in the position of that is in the run position, then automatically the DC motor will get the extreme armature current once again. There is hence there is no use of this DC starter. So this no volt coil is very much important, and if the DC motor is overloaded, it will draw extreme current from the current supply. Then it amplifies the that is ampere rotates of the excess release coil as well as pull the armature. Therefore, no volt coil will be this short circuited, and this coil is demagnetized as well as the handle is pulled near the off location by the spring. Hence, the electric motor is automatically detached from the current supply. So, the condition is when the DC motor is overloaded, it will draw extreme current from the current supply, so that the excess release coil as well as pull the armature. Therefore, no volt coil will be short circuited, and this coil is demagnetized, and the handle is pulled near the off location by the spring. So automatically the electrical motor is detached from the current supply. This is how the overload coil and no volt coil acts. And this is how the construction and operation of the 3-point starter. And now the drawbacks of the 3-point starter. The main drawback of the 3-point starter is it experiences from a major drawback of motors by Hughes difference of speed with a modification of the field rheostat. And to amplify the motor speed, the field resistance must be amplified. But here the flow of current throughout the shunt field is decreased. And next one, whenever adding high resistance to get a high speed will makes the current field current very low. And when no volt coil trip is associated in series by shunt field, then the current will decrease the power of the electromagnet. And this magnet may liberate the arm of handle through the usual motor operation, as well as detach from it from the power supply. So by taking all these drawbacks, one more starter is designed, that is a 4-point starter can be used. And there is where no volt trip coil is allied in the parallel field. Okay, now let us see the difference between 3-point starter and 4-point starter. Coming to 3-point starter, the 3-point starter uses the 3 terminals for running the motor, and terminals are LAF, and we will see the no volt coil. And next one, 4-point starter, it uses the 4 terminals, that is armature terminal, field terminal, and line terminal. And NOC, the connection of 4-point starter can be done in parallel with the field coil. Next one, we'll see the 4-point starter diagram. Another connection is neutral, that is LAF and N neutral connection is there. A 4-point starter includes 4 most important operational points. One is the line terminal is connected to positive supply, and the armature terminal is connected to the winding of an armature. The field terminal is connected to the field winding. And in addition to 3-point starter, there is an extra operational point which is denoted with the letter N, and it is connected to the no voltage coil. And next one, its arrangement can form 3 parallel circuits. Simply observe in the diagram: armature, shunt field winding, and starting resistance. Armature, shunt field winding, and starting resistance. Second one is the shunt field winding and a variable resistance coil. And the current limiting resistance and holding coil. Current limiting resistance and the holding coil. So these are the 3 arrangements, that is the 3 parallel circuits: armature, shunt field winding, and starting resistance. And next one, the shunt field winding and a variable resistance coil. Next one, the current limiting resistance and holding coil. And next, coming to regular push button starters are also used. In these starters, the on switch is pushed to link the current limiting beginning resistors in series through the armature circuit. Then the complete line voltage is obtainable to the circuit. The beginning resistor is slowly detached with an automatic controlling plan, and the armature circuit is detached once the off switch is pressed. And the usual starter circuits have been designed with the time delay relays and electromagnetic contactors. The main benefit of this starter is that it allows even a new operator to operate the motor very easily. Okay. So this is about 3-point and 4-point starters. Now we will see a video on these 3-point starter and 4-point starters.
These types of DC motors require the assistance of the starter in the first case. The only explanation to that is given by the presence of back EMF EB, which plays a critical role in governing the operation of the motor. Actually, the back EMF is developed because the motor armature rotates inside the magnetic field. When it rotates because of generating action, that is movement of conductors in the magnetic field, there must be an induced EMF across the conductors, according to Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction. Obviously, this induced EMF will oppose the supply voltage. Since this supply voltage is the ultimate cause of the rotation. This also essentially means that the back EMF at the starting is zero and develops gradually as the motor gathers speed. The general motor EMF equation should be E equals EB plus IA RA. As at starting back EMF is 0 EB equals 0, this equation can be written as E equals IA RA. Therefore, IA equals to E by RA. Thus, we can well understand from this equation that the current will be dangerously high at the starting, because we all know armature resistance RA is normally very small in all DC motors. That is why we use a device like the 3-point starter to limit the starting current to an allowable lower value. Let us now look into the construction and working of 3-point starter to understand how the starting current is restricted to the desired value. For that, let's consider the diagram as shown here. Here, all essential parts of the 3-point starter are clearly shown. Construction-wise, a starter is nothing but a variable resistance. It is integrated into a number of sections as shown in the figure. The contact points of these sections are called studs and are shown separately as off, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, run. Other than that, there are three main points referred to as 1. L-line terminal. This terminal is connected to positive of supply. 2. A armature terminal. This terminal is connected to the armature winding. 3. F field terminal. This terminal is connected to the field winding. Because of these three terminals, it gets the name 3-point starter. Now, studying the construction of 3-point starter in further details reveals that the point L is connected to an electromagnet called overload release, or in short, OLR, as shown in the figure. The other end of OLR is connected to the lower end of the conducting lever of starter handle, where a spring is also attached with it, and the starter handle contains also a soft iron piece housed on it. This handle is free to move to the other side run against the force of the spring. This spring brings back the handle to its original off position under the influence of its own force. Another parallel path is derived from the stud 1, given to another electromagnet called no-volt coil, or NVC, which is further connected to terminal F. The starting resistance at starting is entirely in series with the armature, as you can see here. The OLR and NVC acts as the two protecting devices of the starter. To start with, the handle is in the off position, then the handle is slowly moved against the spring force to make a contact with stud number 1. At this point, field winding of the shunt or the compound motor gets supply through the parallel path provided to starting resistance through no voltage coil, while entire starting resistance comes in series with the armature. The high starting armature current thus gets limited, as the current equation at this stage becomes IA equals E by RA plus R ST. As the handle is moved further, it goes on making contact with studs 2, 3, 4, etc., thus gradually cutting off the series resistance from the armature circuit as the motor gathers speed. Finally, when the starter handle is in run position, the entire starting resistance is eliminated and the motor runs with normal speed. This is because back EMF is developed consequently with speed to counter the supply voltage and reduce the armature current. The handle is moved manually from off to the run position with development of speed. Now the obvious question is, once the handle is taken to the run position, how is it supposed to stay there as long as the motor is running? To find the answer to this question, let us look into the working of no voltage coil. The supply to the field winding is derived through no voltage coil. So when field current flows, the NVC is magnetized. Now when the handle is in the run position, soft iron piece is connected to the handle and gets attracted by the magnetic force produced by NVC because of flow of current through it. The NVC is designed in such a way that it holds the handle in run position against the force of the spring as long as supply is given to the motor. Thus NVC holds the handle in the run position and hence is also called hold-on coil. Now when there is any kind of supply failure, the current flow through the NVC is affected and it immediately loses its magnetic property and is unable to keep the soft iron piece on the handle attracted. At this point, under the action of the spring force, the handle comes back to off position, opening the circuit and thus switching off the motor. Thus it also acts as a protective device, safeguarding the motor from any kind of abnormality. Hope you got a clear idea of 3-point starter. Thank you.
Of the differential and cumulatively compound.